waiting for a man who says he's going to blow the lid off the secrets of the religion of the stars, to tell the story of the dark side of the Church of Scientology.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. This is just a very short introduction to a live that I did with Aaron Smith-Levin the other day about the PI that he caught observing his house on the street. We streamed that on his channel. Following this, you're going to see that episode. And then subsequent to that, there is a little video clip that I'm going to introduce that shows a sort of similar circumstance that happened to me sometime in the past.
My name is Aaron Smith-Levin, and I was a Scientologist for about 29 years.
My name is Claire Headley, and I was a Scientologist for 30 years.
My name is Mark Headley, and I was a Scientologist for 25 years.
My name is Mike Rinder. I was a Scientologist for 46 years.
What's the Church of Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Welcome back for some more SPTV. I have with me Mike Rinder. Well, thanks for having this chat with me, Mike.
Of course. Of course.
So we want to chat about Scientology private investigators. I published a video this morning. I know you've already seen it because I sent it to you instantly. Of David Miscavige making my greatest wish come true. I feel like I make a wish child today.
Yes.
I've always wanted to bust a Scientology PI. I've never been convinced that they were actually surveilling me, despite some evidence to the contrary. I'm always so skeptical. I'm like, that's not really happening, right?
Right.
I'd found out this was happening for months and months and months. Anyway, I finally busted the guy, and I wanted to ask you some of the questions that people have been asking me, which is like, what on earth does Scientology think it's accomplishing by having this guy just keep tabs on me? Could they possibly really still think they could be intimidating me at this point? Help us understand a little bit about what the hell the rationale is for this.
Okay. Honestly, there's not a whole lot of rationale. What this is a reflection of is Miscavige yelling and screaming, who's doing anything about that motherfucker Aaron Smith-Levin? What, so why are you so incompetent and incapable of getting rid of this attacker? You've got to do something. You better get active. And they don't have much that they can do. So they send out their trolls on Twitter and social media. They call up to get new POW videos done, saying that you're an evil, deviant monster. And they send a PI out there with the idea that they can report back that we know his every movement. We know exactly where he's going. We know exactly what he's doing. We know who's coming to visit him. And there is a sort of secondary purpose to all of that stuff, Aaron, which is to sort of let people who are still in the bubble know that this could all happen to them very easily if they step away and start speaking up about things that they may know. And this is, valuable in their minds for people like Angie Blankenship, who doesn't want to get this sort of scrutiny on her life and doesn't want to have the smearing shit on the internet and the videos done by the people that worked with her. And so it's a constant reminder to everybody who hasn't spoken out, careful, watch out. Even though it has no impact on you, it serves two purposes: being able to say, look, this is all we're doing, and other people, watch your step.
Right. People who have seen some of the Scientology documentaries that are out there and the Aftermath show may be familiar with the idea of what Scientology calls a loud investigation.
Noisy.
Where noisy investigation. They're very in your face. They're very overt. It's really more harassment. You know, they're knocking on your neighbors' doors and everything. I would have to say that what they're doing right now is not a noisy investigation. Like,
well, it is, Aaron, because your neighbors know about it.
They do. Yes,
they're the
you're
ones that
right.
are calling you up saying that these guys are out there. Like that. I mean, the effect of that ultimately in the minds of Scientology and OSA is that perhaps they can get your neighbors so up in arms that they start demanding, why don't you go, Aaron, why don't you just move somewhere else? Why don't you get our neighborhood back to the peaceful, quiet place that it used to be and get the Scientologists the fuck out of our lives? And, you know, as nutty as that is, Aaron, that sort of thing is what motivates these sort of actions. And, you know, you talk about a noisy investigation. Hubbard says the very act of conducting such an investigation can and usually will result in the attacker folding up and going away. And they believe that.
Right. Interesting. So even the neighbors who, for now, are like, hey, we spotted another one, like they seem to be on the team. Scientology could really just be sitting there and going, yeah, that's how they feel for now. Let's see how they feel a year from now.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know, they've got unlimited money, and I mean, they can keep doing this forever because it's justified by Hubbard policy. So, you know, they go, well, you know, maybe this will work. Maybe we'll get someone to turn. Maybe we'll get someone to come to us and say, what do we need to do to end this garbage that's happening in our neighborhood now?
Amazing. I did not think of that. Wow. Yeah, because if I was my neighbor, I'd be really sick and tired of this strange truck parking in front of my house every day, except I'd start getting creative with it. I'd start putting signs out front with a big arrow saying Scientology private investigator right here. I'd put a live cam up there and just stream it 24/7 on YouTube. I almost am going to encourage my neighbors to do that. I'll be like, hey, create a YouTube channel. We'll call it Scientology PI live stream 24/7. You know, we'll one of those trail cameras where motion activated.
Yeah. A deer looker.
Yes. So, there was a follow-up I was going to ask you there. I've already been contacted by someone who actually personally knows the private investigator, knows who they are, has their phone number and their address. And it turns out it is a local guy. What would happen when you were working for Scientology, handling all the PI stuff? If a PI's face and identity was revealed to the public and he was revealed to be working for Scientology, would he be instantly let go or cut loose? Has he lost his value, or it doesn't matter? It depends on whether he wants to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's mostly the latter, Aaron. Some of them would say, I'm not doing this anymore because I don't want to be on YouTube. Like, it's there, but you know, Scientology doesn't really care. A noisy investigation where you have PIs just sitting outside your house in a car, is the purpose of it is to be visible. So they don't really care if you know who this guy is. The guy might care though. He may be very concerned about that. Like, this is going to ruin my reputation with all my friends who now they find out I'm working for Scientology. You know, that's not a good thing in Pinellas County.
That's a really good point. And his number is a 727 number. He's definitely a local. His name is Don, in case. I'm not going to say his last name yet because I'm going to check with some people. Is there anything? So he's a public guy doing legally protected work on public grounds. Am I crossing a line if I make his identity known?
No, why?
No, I'm just asking. I don't know.
No, you're a public person on public grounds. Like, he's there. What's he going to do? Sue you for invasion of privacy when he's sitting outside your house surveilling you? Not a chance.
Yeah, that's a good point. So let me show you something.
Watch his fingers will go mute in a moment.
So I'm going to play this video with sound off. I just want to show you something. Hold on. I do want to go full screen on this if I can. There we go. I did manage to get him to roll down his window and speak to me. Is that a huge no-no?
Yeah, that's really stupid. Like, I've got tons of videos of PIs that sit there and hold paper over their faces and turn away and like put up like the screen, you know, the sun shield screens, and one wearing a hockey mask and all sorts of stuff because they don't want their picture. See, this is the problem for this guy, is he's very recognizable. So his friends are going to know who he is. Obviously, someone who knows him already contacted you. He's going to be like, he's not going to be able to walk into a bar tonight with his buds and not have them say, what the fuck are you doing working for Scientology?
Right. That's a really, really good point. Mike, what is it with PIs and them having this little bud in their ears? Like, why don't they have Bluetooth? I don't get it. Is that a walkie-talkie or is that a phone or what?
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I guess that's probably connected to a phone, and he's probably just old.
Because I'll tell you, I at first I immediately ruled out the idea of it being a walkie-talkie because that's just too old school. What it did make me wonder is if he's on the phone with another PI in the area.
Probably.
Right.
Very likely.
Right.
Very likely he is in constant communication with someone, whether it's the, you know, chief PI or whether it's Ben Shaw over there in OSA asking him what's going on. Like, when he saw you driving up, he obviously knew that it was you coming down the street.
Mhm.
Like, you were approaching him directly. So he was there to watch you. He saw you drive out of your driveway and drive towards his car. He probably got on the phone and said, he's moving. He didn't expect you to stop. Like I said, next time, drive over to the other side and pull up literally alongside him and roll down your window and start banging on his window from there, because then he can't get away.
Some people have told me that if I position my car in a way that prevents him from legally moving his car, that I might be in violation of some law.
I'm sure that's true. But if you just happen to, yeah, but what are the cops going to do? You pull up and say, hey man, wind down your window. Who are you? Why are you following me? And you don't even get out of your vehicle. You're just literally asking him a question. Nobody can claim that you were deliberately preventing him from, you know, access to the highway or something. That would be that would be ridiculous.
Right.
And if he said, I've got to, you know, I'm leaving, you're blocking me, you just drive away. It's okay.
So the other question I have, honestly, is, and this is why I'm always so skeptical that this is ever happening to me.
Yeah.
Is like, you live 20 minutes north of me.
Right.
You haven't seen any evidence of PIs surveilling you or following you in quite some time that I'm aware of. Why in the hell are they worrying about me? It can't just be the stupid YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's the stupid YouTube channel. But remember, Aaron, the other thing is Mr. Mickiewicz is in town. You could drive down, like if he is driving from the Hacienda to the Fort Harrison or to the SP building,
yes,
you could intercept him. So they need to know where you are at all times.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. They just need to know that I'm not parked outside the superpower building waiting for Miscavige to pull up.
Right. Or the Hacienda waiting for him to come out the gate or through the gate. Right. So that's, I mean, this was standard operating procedure back when Minton was in town. Oh my God. I was the guy that had to take the phone calls from either Larice or Dave. Okay, so where's Minton? And if I didn't know where Minton was when they were ready to leave the Hacienda, it was like huge flap. And I'd be in deep shit getting sec checked like within 30 minutes because they didn't know. And so COB was not able to go to post, at
Wow.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow, wow, wow. So is it illegal to place tracking devices on someone's vehicle?
Absolutely.
Okay. Even if you're a licensed private investigator?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is it illegal to tap someone's phone?
Absolutely.
I see. Do you suspect that Scientology has gotten into a cautious frame of mind where they're not willing to push those boundaries, or what are your thoughts?
I would think so.
Mhm.
I would think that they are concerned about getting caught on that sort of stuff. I'm not so sure about hacking, because hacking is much more difficult. And even though, one of the PIs was convicted of hacking me and Ortega and went to federal prison for it, that's a easier thing to accomplish, especially when you've got like one of the world's leading cybersecurity companies owned by Stu Salmon in downtown Clearwater, hiring, Kevin Mitnick. Like, the biggest hackers in the world have been in that building working for KnowBe4. So
Right.
I'm not so convinced about that. Hacking a cell phone is really hard.
Right.
Hacking a cell phone. Locating a cell phone is not so hard, because of GPS. I don't know, after it was exposed on the aftermath by one of the PIs that was there, saying that she put tracking devices on my cars, I suspect that they probably are a little worried about that subsequently.
Very interesting. I recently watched an interview on the YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly. It's an interview from a few years ago of a hacker named Gummo, Gummo, and it was incredible interview where the guy at the end is just like, people have this idea that there's such a thing as privacy, but based on the microchips in your phones, there's no such thing. There's just no such thing. And anyone who really wants to get any information about you, including listening to all your conversations live, if they really wanted to, they can. And when I hear things like that, I sort of go, yes, if you're a state actor, you can. But if you're just a PI, but again, I'm very quick to dismiss the possibility of these things. And that's why I wanted to get your take on it. Like, how we say all the time, Scientology is all the time and the money in the world. So why wouldn't they spend the money necessary to get the same access that a state actor could get if they really do?
I'm not sure that they don't. I only suspect that they don't. I just answer your question. Do you think they're still doing it? I don't think so. Doesn't mean that they're not, and doesn't mean that they couldn't. I'm not sure that the upside to that is worth the potential downside.
I know.
I mean, you're not going to get a whole lot of information out of it.
It does crack me up, the idea if they're spending like $1,000 a day and they're like, well, today Aaron told his wife they needed toilet paper from the store.
Yeah, and he went and picked up his daughter at school, and he went across the park and he did a YouTube video, and Goliath was out, and that's the report for today, folks.
Oh, I'm going to literally have to just start publicly taking dumps in my trash cans at the curb so the PIs know exactly what they're in for. I'm going to be like, honey, bring the step ladder over. It's time to go again. All right, let's see. I had some other questions, but let's check some of these super chats here real quick. Oh, by the way, yeah, if you want to give a big middle finger to David Miscavige, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I thanked Lil Captain Dave in my last video for making sure I never run out of content for my channel.
Right.
Okay, Jerry Nodine, take it as a compliment. SPTV is getting to them. Absolutely. Absolutely. No question about that. John Sostowski, it must be spring. You spotted the first PI of the season.
They popped up through the dirt.
Mike, you said Miscavige is in town. Is that for the because of the training evolution? You just mean in town generally, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. This is where he hangs now. He's not going to let go of his next big thing, the OEC FEBC program.
Yeah. Plus, he's got to figure out where the new advanced org is going to go. So
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Joe Birchfield, please hit the gritty on the next PI just to mind truck. I don't know what hit the gritty means. Do you?
No,
Okay.
I thought gritty was a reference to the guy in Philly, the
Oh.
mascot in Philly. I don't know.
That's the Philly Fanatic.
No, there's another one. I think it's the Flyers guy.
Oh.
I think his name's Gritty.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So maybe hit the
Sort of
gritty
famous.
means doing something that gritty
I
does.
don't know. I'm sure someone will answer in the comments there.
There we go. Okay, this is not on topic, but real quick. Mike, did COB have any redeeming qualities as a man, or was it just an awful across the board?
He's an awful across the board.
There
He
you go.
pretends to have redeeming qualities, but he doesn't really.
Yeah. Okay, YouTube user. Oh, wow, look, an anonymous comment. I didn't know you could do that. Do they want to see if current church members are still hanging out with you? Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which, Mike, makes me think that in order for them to get that kind of information, though, they couldn't just rely on this middle-aged man keeping his eyeballs peeled every time someone comes up the street. He must be recording all the time. Because that means every time a strange car would pull into my driveway, in order for him to actually get the deets on it, he would have to drive by. He was parked. He was parked on the other side of the intersection of my block.
I know.
He couldn't.
I saw where he was. He couldn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. That's not really good eyesight. But he can see if a car pulls up. He can see if someone comes to visit you, or if you leave.
Yeah.
You can't leave without him being able to see that you've left.
Totally true. What's really funny these days, though, is that Heather is the one driving my truck half the time. because Beckett takes her car to school.
Right.
And
I know.
so that's why I speculated. I think their job is to know if I'm home or not necessarily to follow me, because they don't know who's driving the damn truck.
Right. But I suspect that if you go out in
Yeah.
your truck and they see it's you, they're going to be following you.
Interesting.
So maybe we should do a little experiment on that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that off
Okay,
the show.
cool. Okay, cool. Drew McDonald, who had to lick the bathroom floor and why?
Mark Ginga Nelson, who was from CMOCW. And I don't remember why Debbie testified to it in the San Antonio case.
Yeah. Okay, Ian Adcock. Aaron, you need magnets to throw on his truck like the shopper cart cop does on his channel. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I should get one of those door magnets like I had for my truck when I was running for city council. And the door magnet should just say Scientology PI.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Those are real. That'd be great videos if I could pull that off. I need to have someone like accompanying me with a GoPro at all times or something. Oh my God, this would be the best video ever. Put on a ghillie suit and hide out in your yard. Yes. I put on, a ghillie suit is, Mike, right?
No.
It's the suit snipers wear to blend in with the bushes.
With leaves and shit hanging out your head.
I'm like army crawling down the street. It'll be funny because I'll be like not camouflaged at all, like pretending like I am. And see how long it takes for the trucks to drive away.
Yeah.
Like I'm sneaking up on him. Oh, good Lord. Okay, let's see. Lathander Grauklinger. Good thing money paid to PIs is lost for Scientology. That's another way of looking at it. You're keeping somebody employed, money in someone else's pocket instead of Miscavige's pocket. But anyhow, Kevin, thank you for the super sticker. F. Shopes, why did he run away so fast? I've seen videos of Scientologist PIs act intimidating. See, that is an interesting question. What's the difference between him fleeing and the other things that we've seen? That's why I said, I'm not sure this is a noisy investigation. What's the difference between these two behaviors?
Like I said, I think that this guy is worried that his friends are going to see him. But then I don't know why he wound down the window. I mean, these people aren't the brightest bulbs in the chandelier. They're not necessarily, just because they've got a PI license, like anybody can get a PI license.
Yeah.
What sort of a job is it, like sitting around watching people for hours on end do nothing, peeing in a bottle in your car, eating junk food all day? I mean, it's just, this is not the cream. this is not the cream of society participating in the PI business.
It's true. And then that's not what I intended to click on there, but take them on a little drive. Thank you. Thank you for that one. Okay. Is he Larry, Moe, or Curly? He's not Curly. He's not Curly. We know that.
No.
Lauren Taylor, bro has Post-it notes on his dash. Are you able to read them? I didn't notice the Post-it notes. Let me bring it back on the stream here. So let's, those aren't, I don't see Post-it notes. I don't,
that red thing over there, that's part of the,
I think that's just his glove compartment, I think.
Yeah, the upholstery of the vehicle, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so money for the first SPTV birdhouse to watch these clowns. Yeah, I need to install my own birdhouse cameras to keep an eye on these guys.
Yep.
Okay, Andre, sent you an email. Keep up the good work and aggravation you and the SP team are doing. Love the content. Well, thank you so much. Debbie Bruce, you should hire a body double to drive around and then corner them and let them wonder where you really are. I mean, I wish I had the patience and imagination to really put a lot of thought into how I can screw with these guys. But it's not like they're not there all the time. That's the thing.
Right.
They're not there all the time. Why? That's the other thing, Mike. I've never been understand. Why is it that they only need to know where I am for like a third of the day? I don't quite get it.
It's like I said, it's probably when Miscavige has some plan of going somewhere or shifting location or something, that is the time when they're out watching for you.
So that makes me suspect that these guys either live or have a rented house somewhere close enough to me that whenever they get a call, hey, we're going to need to know where Aaron is in 15 minutes or whatever. Like, they can't just be leaving their house whenever they get a phone call.
Right.
They must have a place in the neighborhood.
They used to have a place over north of Drew, but on the other side of US 19. You know where that little park is, just on the other side of US 19, like on the east side of US 19, north of Drew? There was a park there.
Yeah.
Just north of that was a house that was the PI staging area back in the day. But I don't know if they're still using that.
Because Scientology just rents those places, right? They don't buy, or would they?
Yeah. That was just a rental place that was the sort of HQ.
Interesting. Oh, wow. I got to find out where Scientology PI HQ is now. All right, Jay Dice, at least they're wasting money and providing content. That's how I like to look at it. How do you say Eve Perps, please? Thank you for the super sticker, L. Ron Hubbard. Why did I just do that? Are there any new birdhouses around? Cindy Sue wonders. Well, I said in my last video, I do suspect that at least one of my nearby neighbors has agreed to cooperate with Scientology, and I'm going to try to develop that story if I can. Donna Dwyer, put a remote camera in your trash can lid. Oh, God, that would be amazing. With all this scandal that's been rocking Clearwater's trash department, how beautiful would it be if they were also selling trash to people?
Right.
How much does Dave pay these jokers? What do you think one of these guys is earning, Mike?
They probably are getting paid, like $25 an hour. The guy that hires them, the head PI, is probably he's probably on a flat rate. Like the guy that used to be the Clearwater head of PIs is a guy named Brian Raftery, not Rafferty, Raftery. And he had a PI company somewhere here in the Bay Area. And he was the go-to guy. And he found all these people and hired them and sort of was responsible for them all. And he made a pretty penny, Brian Raftery.
Salary or hourly?
No, monthly retainer. And probably, I think he was on a monthly retainer and a cost of, like, if extra guys needed to be hired because extra security or observation was needed or whatever.
So what do you think? 20K a month for that guy?
Yeah, maybe in that region.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Interesting. Okay. Kelly O'Hara says, DM, Would you say that Kelly? How do you? Is that Scottish or Irish? How would you say that name? Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly. Okay.
Yeah.
DM needs a little PI, psychiatric introspection. Julia Athena, how do you feel about making a list of all OT3s or higher, aka learned the Xenu story and stuck around? OTs faking it are the reason lower bridge people stick around, deliver an effective blow. Julia, you can essentially, or there already is a list of OT3s and higher on what is the name of that website? If you guys just put in anybody's name and just Google someone's name, Scientology.
Christy Watchta
Who's
website.
that?
She's the one that made it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called.
So here, I'll actually just do this right now. Mike Rinder, Scientology service completions. And it brings me to truthaboutscientology.com is the website that maintains a list of Scientology service completions. Truthaboutscientology.com. And yeah, so when people ask me, is such and such person a Scientologist? There's only two things that I do. I go to Facebook and I see how many mutual friends we have in common and whether they're Scientologists. Because a lot of Scientologists blocked me before they unfriended me. So they still show up as a mutual friend, even though they can't see me on Facebook. I still have hundreds of Scientologists on my friends list. So that's the one thing I do. The other thing I do is I just punch in their name into Google and add Scientology service completions. And the person that Mike just mentioned has essentially maintained a database of every person who has appeared who has been named as having completed a service in one of Scientology's magazines. It's a pretty complete list. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good.
Yep.
Okay, last one here. Shout out to David Miscavige for such fun content. Yes, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. SPTV owes it all to you. All right. Well, that's the chat that I wanted to have. I really, your answer of Miscavige is in town a lot. He needs to know he's not about to be ambushed by you, and you're the only one close enough to the base to do that. That is an answer that rings true. Because otherwise, you and Mark and Claire would have people on you all the time as well.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome. All right, guys, if you're watching now, again, if you want to give a big middle finger to David Miscavige, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And Mike, you're going live with Amy Scobie in about, what, 25 minutes on your channel?
Yeah, it's at 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time with an Easter special about Scientology and Christianity. It'll be fun.
Awesome, guys. So check that out. Subscribe to Mike Rinder's channel as well. I post a link to his channel below. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching until the very end, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, so here is the footage that I shot in Naples, Florida. This guy had been following me. He was in a gray Dodge Ram pickup truck. I drove into the parking lot of a mall in Naples and managed to lose him in the parking structure. And I sat there and I did a little recording saying, look, I'm going to go out and see if this guy's waiting for me out there. And you're going to see what happens when I come upon him and pull up behind him. You know, I mentioned to Aaron that a good thing to do is pull up so that they can't just drive away right away, which is what I did with this guy. And you'll see his reaction. It's pretty hilarious. Okay, I'm in Naples and there is a gray Dodge pickup truck that has been following me. Today is, I don't know, the 22nd. I just pulled into a parking lot. The guy has been following me around. I've been driving around in little sort of circles inside the town. And he came down a dead-end street and then he came back the other way to follow me, and then showed up now in the parking lot of Saks Fifth Avenue after having made 2 turns down the wrong way street to get here. So I'm going to go out and see if I can see him again and get him to follow me around down here. It's a late model Dodge Ram extra cab, silver gray color. We'll see if he's around here somewhere. He may be sitting out on the street. Oh no, there he is. He's sitting over there. And I'm gonna pull up behind him now and get his license plate. 634 KDF. I think I'll just get out and find out why it is that he's following me. Let's see what's in there. This guy's sitting in his vehicle, staring at me. I'm gonna knock on the window and ask him.
Get away from my truck! Who are you? I don't want to buy drugs! Get away! Move! Move!
Why are you following me?
Get away from me!
Why are you following me? Why are you following me?
Get away from me! I'm calling the police!
Good, go ahead. Why are you following me?
I'm calling the police!
Okay, so this guy is now trying to back up and back up and back up, making a big deal like he's gonna run into me, but he's gonna actually drive away after saying that he was calling the sheriff's office because I was gonna try and deal drugs. There he goes. So he's got a sheriff's sticker on the back of his vehicle that is some sort of alumni association, 634 KDF. We'll see how interested he was in getting the sheriffs. Again, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.